the mic isn't working?
I guess so. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I guess the mic isn't working. We tested it before we tried, and I noticed it wasn't working. So we're going to start again, and hopefully you can hear us now.
Okay, go ahead. Susan, do you want to scratch this, or you?
No, it's good.
Okay. So from the beginning, so you can hear anything? Okay. Sorry about that. So we're going to try this again and start over. So we're on the 6th chakra this week, and I feel like this is the chakra that, even if you don't know what the chakra system is or what they are, it's the one that you know about, or have at least probably heard someone use the term or throw the term around, third eye. So yeah, let's clarify a little bit about what our third eye is and what it really means and how we can work with it with our stones. And I just want to say, again, it's this integration of the lower chakras, right? The work that we have done thus far with the root, with the sacral, with the solar plexus, with the heart, with the throat, and now kind of bridging that up into maybe the little more like headier or out there kind of concepts with the third eye and eventually with the crown next week. So the Sanskrit name for this chakra is Anja, and that means to command and to perceive. The color is indigo, and the location is going to be the forehead or the brow, so right in between the brow here. And I wanted to say the gland that corresponds with it is the pineal and the pituitary, and depending on which version of the chakras you're studying, there's a little bit of a debate about which one it is. I tend to go towards the pineal side, but just know that you might hear differing views on that. And the element that we're working with is light, which makes a lot of sense, vision and light. So this chakra governs pattern recognition, archetypes, symbols, images, your dreams, and your intuition. We're talking about transcendence, vision, and clairvoyance when we're dealing with this chakra, and illusion or illusions, connecting our images to our feelings, self-reflection, and the establishment of our personal identity. Perception and the way that we perceive others and ourselves, and how we command our reality. So 90% of our thinking process is visual, and thus that is constantly all the time creating our reality. So similar to what I was discussing with the sound pollution in the throat chakra and constantly being bombarded with sounds, same here. We're constantly being bombarded with images and visual images through everything we're taking in, like Facebook, like Instagram, but even more subtle ads that affect us, things we see all of the time, and how we perceive others through how we see them visually. That's our thought process. So it's huge to kind of work with this chakra and refine and kind of see where you stand. So bringing the light of consciousness to all that exists within and around us, and manifesting our personal vision. This chakra is our right to see. So let's talk a little bit about what happens when this chakra is balanced and what happens when it is out of balance. When it is balanced, it is someone who is highly intuitive, perceptive, and imaginative. Someone who has a good memory, is able to access, receive, and remember their dreams, and someone who is able to think symbolically and who can visualize. When this chakra is out of balance, you have someone who is constantly ignoring or belittling their intuition, an invalidation, of course, of their intuition and their psychic awareness, right? So we all have this innate knowing in us. And so you'll hear me say the word psychic throughout this Facebook Live. And I don't want you to think of like a psychic or a medium, something that would never be attainable. We actually all have the ability to tap into our psychic abilities. And it's like anything, it's a skill. But so when I say that, I mean knowing right? Knowing when something is up or knowing when something is off and following that intuition, following that psychic ability. But someone who's out of balance doesn't really listen to that knowing, is unable to link what you see with what is actually happening in reality. That's a big one. Someone who frequently gets headaches and migraines, someone who suffers from illusions and a disconnection from reality, someone who does not accept or know their own identity, and someone who has repressed memories, either for protection or just unconsciously, and who is subject to shame and self-scrutiny. So heavy topics here with the out of balance third chakra. And it's important to note that all of our chakras are always in flux, right? So last week, a chakra could have been aligned or balanced, or could have felt a little excessive, and this week it could be deficient. It really is a subtle energy awareness and an awareness of these fluctuations all of the time, and being able to check in with yourself and ask yourself wholeheartedly and honestly what's going on. That's just an important note here. So let's talk a little bit about that. Excess, deficiency, and general balancing. So we're going to start with excess this week. And someone who has an excess, like an overabundance of energy happening in their third eye center, is going to have a lack of discernment, is unable to tell truth from fantasy, has difficulty concentrating, has an overactive imagination with no real validity behind it, may suffer from hallucinations, delusions, and obsessions, and nightmares. And someone who is psychically inclined without really grounding the information, right? So it's one thing to be in tune and to be in tune with your knowing, but if there's no real solidity behind it, or work or grounding, it can blast off into a bunch of different things. So for the excess chakra, to kind of balance out that energy, I have chosen sodalite, which is actually a really pretty and I think kind of underrated stone. So I'll show you a few of the stones that we have in the shop here. This is a really nice sodalite sphere, and you can see the really rich indigo blue color here, mixed in with a little white and black. And then I've got a really, really pretty sodalite egg as well. And so I'm going to be showing some bigger pieces and some smaller pieces today. And then I've got these little really nice. And so we've been linking this series, Tumbled Pieces. We've been linking this series to our Instagram as well. So check out our Instagram stories for a little quick refresh, and also to see some pictures of the stones that I'm showing you today. So yeah, a little bit about sodalite. It helps to unite logic with intuition. It stimulates your pineal gland. And it helps to deepen your meditation. And it also helps you to understand the mind when you are in your meditation. It instills a drive for the truth. It works to eliminate mental confusion. Sodalite helps to encourage rational thought and objectivity and intuitive perception. It calms your mind, right? So if we're thinking someone who has a really overactive third eye chakra, they can get a little out there, a little heady. So this is gonna, again, help to calm that. And psychologically, it brings your emotions into balance. It provides the ability to arrive at logical conclusions via the rational thought process. So again, someone who has an overabundance in their third chakra is going to have a hard time merging the two, right? Logical and the psychic, or information that they may be receiving through knowing or through perception. So this helps to kind of soothe that and integrate it really nicely. So that is sodalite for the excess. Moving right along to the deficiency. Someone who is deficient or has a lack of energy in their third eye is going to look like someone who is hyper-focused on rational thought, right? Always rationalizing everything. It has to have a rhyme and a reason. Someone who might be a little insensitive, or a lot insensitive, unable to notice nuances of mood and feelings of others and really with themselves, has a lack of intuition and a failure to acknowledge it, once again, repressed memory, either for protection or unconsciously, and which can lead, repressed memory can actually lead to poor memory. So another characteristic of a deficient third eye chakra. Cannot visualize or imagine change, is in denial of what you cannot see, so then making it not exist in your reality, and has trouble remembering dreams, which denies access to our higher selves. And monopolarization. So this was a cool one as I was studying this chakra in the Eastern Body, or excuse me, Western Body, Eastern Mind book that I heard. Monopolarization, one true right and only way. So someone who, it's their way or the highway. And I think we all know somebody like this. So yeah, that is a symptom of a deficient third eye chakra. And so for this, I recommend azurite. So we've got some beautiful pieces in the shop right now. And this piece that I'm going to show you is actually on our website. So if you see this and you like it, go to our website and check it out, and it can be yours. And so obviously with a chunk this big, you'd want to sit it in a space, and in the bedroom or next to the bed. I'll give you an exercise later to work with this chakra, would be a nice place. And then we've got some smaller pieces here. I just love the rich blue indigo color of these guys. And this one's really nice, as well as this guy as well. And these are fairly inexpensive as well, and really pretty and easy to hold, which is nice. So a little bit about azurite. It helps to cleanse and stimulate your third eye. It facilitates understanding of the mind and emotions of the body. It facilitates clear understanding and allows for new perspectives, which is huge if you are like, it's my way or the highway. It helps to release, oh my gosh, I can't read my little writing that I wrote there. Helps to release blocks, excuse me. And it stimulates memory. Your challenges views of reality, giving deeper insights and new realities, and it helps to awaken, again, your psychic development, enhances your creativity, and is great for meditation. So those are all the really nice healing properties of azurite. Moving right along to balancing in general. So someone who has a balanced, right, even-keeled third eye is going to look like an imaginative, intuitive, and perspective person. Calm mind that can see clearly without drawing on lower identities. Again, huge integration of the first and second chakras. And without drawing on past impressions. So being super present. Good at thinking symbolically and an expansive vision. And that's someone who has a balanced third eye chakra. So for this, I chose labradorite. And labradorite is one of those really pretty cool, I think, high vibing stones, and it is amazing to work with your third eye center. So we've got a really nice, and this could be like a palm stone. The flash on this, I'm gonna see if I can get it. Yeah, is really nice yellow golden. There's a little bit of blue in there too. So pretty. And again, these are nice. The flash on this one, you should check out our Instagram story. I really captured it. This is not doing it any justice. The photo is beautiful. So pretty, guys. And a couple of other smaller stones. And it's just one of those stones that's really pretty to look at. Like, it's really pretty. Even the tumble, it has a little bit of flash too. And so let's talk about the metaphysical properties of labradorite. It helps to raise your consciousness and connect with the universal energies. You can access other worlds and past lives. It's a stone of esoteric knowledge. So again, we start to move from the really simplistic, basic base needs and move up to things that are a little more out there, a little more spiritually inclined. And not out there, but just maybe something that you would be open to opening yourself up to. Stimulates intuition, and it strengthens your faith in yourself. It removes other people's projections, which is huge. That can be how we view ourselves. And energizes your imagination. It helps with analysis of rationality balanced with your inner sight. Dispeller of illusions, and can assist with bringing repressed memories to the surface. It transforms the intuition into intellectual thought, and it promotes clarity of your inner sight. So labradorite is one of those really, really nice, rich stones that is full of metaphysical healing properties. And so it's one, even if you're not working with this chakra, to kind of have in your toolbox, because it is a really awesome stone to work with. Okay, so last stone that I'm going to show you is one that I wanted to do as kind of a bonus for this week, and that's going to be celestite. So now more than ever, I think it's important that we see clearly the state of what is going on in the world around us, and both physically and mentally being able to integrate our sight and see things clearly for what they are. So celestite is amazing to increase your personal peace and harmony and allow that to spill out to everyone that we are around. It is a stone that facilitates negotiations of conflict and promotes a peaceful resolution. Celestite also promotes mental clarity and integrates intellect with insight. And when it placed directly on your third eye, is great for integrating universal energies and a vision of a peaceful coexistence. Again, creating harmony. And it's great to place in a common area. So like a living room or a kitchen, somewhere where if you have people over, celestite's going to be around. And it's just great for, again, facilitating this idea of harmony and peace everywhere. Again, super important in our climate. So, really pretty pieces of celestite. This little guy here, and it's a really pretty, almost pale blue. So a little lighter and a little softer than some of our darker blues that we've been working with today. This little guy has a beautiful celestite crystal right in the center. So nice. And one last little nice chunky chunk here. And these pieces are so pretty. And then again, of course, little tumbled pieces as well of celestite. Super clear and pretty. So a note about all the stones we talked about today. When you're working with your third eye chakra, it's really nice to actually take your crystal and place it right on your third eye. And granted, you don't want to walk around the street with it on you. And that's part of the reason why I didn't want to show joy today. But just to encourage you all to take a moment to actually work with your stones and place them on your third eye and see what that feels like, opening the energy directly there. But the official, what I wanted to offer in healing and working with this chakra is a little bit more information, and then I'll give you the little like meditation to work with. So, arriving at the sixth chakra, we begin to see the important role of the balance of, again, the first and the second chakras. If the first two chakras aren't grounded and aren't connected into reality, then this chakra, our sight, is not clear. And we can take in all of this information that is being processed without any real weight or validity to it. And we've all felt that way, right? Like we're super up in the air without any real weight. And so what happens is our perception and our intuition and our sight becomes cloudy and it becomes skewed. So this, and it's important to note, this happens with both an excess and a deficiency. We also start to see with this chakra spiritual and psychic abilities and knowing develop, as well as our access to other realms and contact with others in both the physical and the non-physical realms. So it's important to be grounded as you begin. And any of our first chakra stones that we talked about, Muladhara root chakra, are great to kind of step into and ground first and then again, move up to these higher energy centers. So yes, meditation is the probably #1 way to start to get in touch with your third eye chakra. But since I've actually offered quite a few meditations for the other 5 that we've already dealt with, I wanted to give you something a little different for this one. So we talked in the beginning about how the third eye governs our dreams. So my suggestion for this week is dream work. So just a little exercise. At the end of your day, take a moment to grab your crystal that you're working with and cleanse it. And you can run it through water. If you like to sage, you can pass it through sage a few times. And then find a comfortable seat on the edge of your bed. Turn out the lights and close your eyes and sit in stillness and in quiet. And just start to notice your breath and start to release your day and calm and quiet your mind as much as possible. No straining, no real effort. If you notice yourself kind of furrowing your brow, just see if you can take a deep breath and relax. Just sitting for 5 to 10 minutes, allowing yourself to connect to your crystal in your hand or next to your bed. With the eyes closed, you'll roll your internal gaze up towards your third eye center or that pineal gland. And you may feel yourself wanting to imagine or visualize, again, bring in that creative visualization, a beautiful white light kind of purifying and clearing out the third eye chakra. Once you feel nice and grounded, nice and settled here, take a moment and place your crystal underneath your bed and just set an affirmation for yourself to remember your dreams. Ask and put out into the universe if there's any information that you might want to receive while you're in the dream realm, and then just reaffirm the fact that you want to remember them. With the crystal under the bed, when you feel relaxed and ready, just allow yourself to go to sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, see if you can just be still and be quiet for a full minute. So no checking the phone, no rushing and getting up, just laying quite still and allowing your dreams to integrate themselves into your conscious mind. After you do this, upon fully waking up, see if you have it, take a minute and write down everything you remember from your dreams, every detail, every really kind of visceral experience that you might remember. Write it down and then read it over. And if you don't have time to read it over right then, fine. The sooner you do it, the better though. So again, this whole process takes like 5 or 10 minutes before bed and upon waking up. And then read over what you've written down. Is there anything that you need to integrate, any information that you would like to integrate into your waking reality? So much here is about this integration of our intuition and our perception and our vision into our physical realities, and how can we act from this place of deep knowing and deep knowledge. So yeah, that is the dream, and you can do this for a week straight and just see what happens when you actually affirm and set an intention and start to work on longevity of these practices as well. So as you get to know yourself, as you work more with the chakras, you want to think about making these practices a regular part of your life so that it becomes habit to better and know yourself. So yeah, if any of the dreams get really heavy or feel like nightmarish, it's a good idea to take your stone and give it a nice cleanse, again with sage or running it through water. If it's not water soluble, the azurite, no to the water for sure, but all the other 3 are good. And yeah, just reaffirm your intention and remember to trust your intentions. And just a reminder, again, when dealing with the vision, 90% of what we take in is through our visual sight. So trying to have compassion and truthfulness and honesty and connection when dealing with this chakra. All right, guys, that was a long one today. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please reach out if you have any questions or comments for us. Sorry about the mix-up at the beginning. Hopefully for the 7th chakra, we'll get everything on point and great for you guys, and it'll go so smoothly and amazingly. But it's been so fun doing this series, and I'm looking forward to the last one. So yeah, check out our Instagram story and have a great day. Bye.